Okay, so Mona done flew the folks off somewhere to show out. Lord have mercy. You know these people don't know how to act. And I'm like, come on through, Cookie. I want to put my soapbox. That's basically it. Let's talk about drag and all its forms. What, Cookie? Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on the video. This is my review for Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. This is season 8, episode 11. And you know, like I know, that these folks don't know how to act. They don't know how to conduct themselves. And Mona done paid and sent their asses off to Trinidad to carry on. Now, Spice is in Africa. They all are in Trinidad. And of course, I told you all before, Carly is actually going to host until Spice can actually get there. Cool, no problem. Listen, first thing we see, Tokyo's ass was just miserable. She was miserable. She was on the plane. She was all fat about the situation. Talking about her knees was hurting. She was stiff and all these other little things because it's a long plane ride. So she was miserable. And the first time the camera hit her, I said, damn, Tokyo. She was all the... I said, girl, mean mugging her ass off. I said, Lord have mercy. And then that carried on. That continued on. That whole mood. Her and Shekinah were on one. They were on one, and they were giving the blues to Carly. It just, I don't know, they just kept giving Carly the blues. And Carly was genuinely happy to be hosting, you know, playing that part. They was like, girl, she needs to sit her ass down. I thought they were just being mean, personally. I didn't see anything that Carly was doing that was out of order or out of line. They were just being mean. They were just being mean heifers. Anyway, Scrappy and Bambi's luggage didn't actually make it on the plane with them. So they're there. They have absolutely no luggage. They didn't even crack a frown. They didn't even crack a frown. They were still upbeat and happy. It was just Shekinah and damn Tokyo was just on one. That's all. That's all. So they gave, when they got to the hotel, they gave a suite upgrade to one for one room. So Carly had decided that, you know, Rashida and Kirk should actually get it because the last trip they brought everybody. So that was nice and that was fair. That was cool. Of course, you know, Tokyo and Shekinah was fussing. I said, these two whores don't shut their mouth. Just shut up. Shut up and stop it. They were starting to get on my nerves. Anyway, as they get in there, they found out something was wrong with the doorknob on Kirk and Rashida's room, right? And they said it earlier, there something was wrong. We want to have to get that together. So they get up in the room, and all of a sudden, I don't know what thing got over, you know, Rashida got on top of her baby, but she got in there and decided she wanted to do a Mimi on Kirk, talking about there's a shower rod in there. Mimi just showed me a couple of things. I said, Lord have mercy. And the only thing that saved him is that Jock actually came in and just opened the door and came on in. And they were laughing about that. That little messed up handle wasn't doing nothing, so their door just swings on open. I just fell out laughing. I said, that's a whole mess. He goes in there, he shows Rashida and Kirk the ring that he got, beautiful ring that he's planning on giving to Kendra while they're there. And they were saying, well, hold up a minute. What about, how do you think she's going to feel about that with Carly being here? And how's that going to make Carly feel? Nobody really care about how Carly feel, but it is what it is. So he's thinking about that. But I'm like, child, go on and engage, you know, get engaged while you're there. Just do it. Anyway, back on the other side of things, we got Akbar in the studio, and Shay Mack rolls in on her with the baby and asks her, "Would you watch the baby for me?" Because it was like late at night. And she's asked her, "Girl, why is you out with her? Why is you have her out this time of night in the streets?" And she said, Maid man done got shot and she needed her to babysit Jin Jin. And I'm laughing. I'm laughing. This is going to be mean. This is going to be mean. It's going to come out mean. Who the hell? I know y'all going to get mad, but I don't care. I'm going to say it. Who the hell takes their baby to somebody that ain't got their own kids? That's the last person on my list that I'm taking my baby to leave with a bitch that ain't got her kids. Huh? What? But whatever. I guess in a pinch. But, you know, Akbar was cool. She grabbed her up, and Ginger seems to know Akbar, so because she went with her, she didn't cry or anything. And she was really good with her, you know, so that showed. And I got a little soft spot right then for Akbar. And I said, well, maybe you all right, because Ginger didn't cry. You know, kids will let you know who's fucked up. She didn't cry. She went right on to Auntie Valerie, honey, and everything was cool. And I said, okay, so that put a little soft spot for me with Akbar. But at the end of the day, this bitch don't have her kids, and she wouldn't have been my go-to. She just wouldn't have been. Anyway, but anyhow, moving on. I know y'all gonna get me real good in the comments on that, but that's all right. I got tough skin. I can take it. And at the end of the day, I still ain't taking my kids to a bitch that ain't got their kids. That's the last person. Because if you ain't got your kids, I would think that you wouldn't want to be bothered with no kids. And that came through because the first thing she said out of her mouth, the next thing you seen her, she was up all night with Shay Mack's goddamn baby. I said, see. Anyway, moving on. So, Tokyo and Shekinah, like I said, were doing all that they were doing. They finally got it straightened out, okay? They went to have dinner, and Shekinah and Tokyo was starting out about the food. They fussed about the food, being shady to the waiters, and Carly called them on it. And they were like, it got heated for a minute, but then they straightened it out. It ain't no real big deal. Them two were acting like bitches, and that's all there was to it. They straightened it out. Carly said, I just want to make sure everybody has a good time and try things, try the food, and I introduce you to my culture. I ain't for all this other extra bullshit, you know? So I was like, cool. So then we go back over on the other side, and we actually see Scrap, DeLeon, and Sierra. They're doing a vigil that has to do with gun violence and all of this stuff. And they're just talking and kicking it around and just, you know, doing their thing. And then Akbar comes, and that's what I said. Like I said, she said, I've been up all night. I would have been here earlier, but I've been up all night with Shay Mack's damn baby. This, that, the other. She came and got her this morning. And then they told him about Maid Man being shot and all of this stuff. So then, in the midst of the conversation, Akbar ends up calling out Scrap, because Scrap's trying to shoot his shot with Sierra. And Sierra's so goofy, she didn't even really realize it. But when Akbar rolled up on him, she had start like blurting and blabbing all this stuff about Moniece and Tierra and all this. And he's like, hello, girl, whose side are you on? You know, so that was that. Sierra kind of shut it down and moved on. I said, so I guess we're going to see Scrap banging on you later. We'll see. And then they showed this picture. He was saying, you know, he needs to go and check on Shay Mack because they know each other. They've been knowing each other for like 12 years. But he hasn't seen her for like 4 years, that they used to be really close. They showed this picture of them. The two of them both need to do some soul searching. Because in the picture, they both were some really good-looking kids. They really were. And they look so old now, the two of them. I'm like, wow, this is just a few years back. They look so, I mean, like babies. Like babies. Shay looked really pretty. Like, girl, you look really pretty in that picture. And shit, Scrap looked damn near as pretty as her. I said, y'all need to do some soul searching, honey, because time ain't being kind to y'all's ass. at all. I'm just saying, y'all seen the picture. Anyway, moving on. So, let's go back to Trinidad. All this flip flopping back and forth. Scrappy, Kirk, and Jock went on some damn monkey jungle shit walk. It was some garbage. We went to this spot where there's these red monkeys, honey, and they went. I was like, I'm going nowhere with no goddamn monkey running free. But that's where they were. They just talking. And Scrappy was fussing about the fact that him and Bam ain't been getting down, honey. And he be wanting to have sex. And he told how nasty he is and he don't mind drinking titty milk and carrying on. Later on, they were talking, and Bambi was saying, you know, I was feeling sexy, my breast leaking, milking down. He like, I want to drink it. And that's what Rasheed was telling girl, he'll drink it and keep it right on pushing, honey. I said, oh, Lord, too much info. Anyway, so that was that. Then we flip back over on the other side, and we see Scrap actually goes to see Shay Mack, and they actually get talking. And in the midst of their conversation, we get a little bit of tea. Here, there was some little situation that went down when Scrap was actually in jail that Stevie J was supposed to show up for, but Stevie J didn't show up. He didn't show, and Scrap ain't heard from Stevie since. Now, let me take y'all back. Do y'all remember when the season wrapped last time? Remember when the season wrapped last time? And there was all those little rumors about Stevie J messing around with Tommy? Well, that was the thing. That was a thing. And here it is. Scrap wants to speak with Stevie because he had heard all that and how the way that Stevie J fell off and the fact that he didn't show up for that date. He could have possibly got some time off of his sentence and Stevie didn't show up. And he just literally ain't heard from him since. And he said he wanted to approach Stevie and talk to Stevie about it, period. The whole thing about that, him not showing up, the fact that he ain't seen him since he been out, and all about him screwing on Tommy. I said, oh, shit. Because I kind of dismissed that back then, but no, there's something to that. So we'll see. Anyway, the next day, let's go back to Trinidad. Did I say Jamaica? Trinidad. Anyway, back to Trinidad. Okay. Mimi couldn't show up until day 2. When she shows up with a poo. So Pooh was supposed to have come there to patch up little situations and all of that. She never did patch up anything. She got in there and she started going off on Carly and being real rude and throwing diapers and sheets and just making a whole scene and going back into this whole thing about Carly owing her money and all of this and all that. And this time, old Tokyo again. I said, you're going to have to work on Tokyo's delivery, Mona. Is this running and laughing? But you supposed to be jumping on Pooh, but you laughing and carrying on. Pooh was like, fuck you, you diabetic bitch. I said, oh my God. You fat bitch. I was like, terrible. So they had this whole little thing going on. She's shaking her ass. And it was just really so fake and put on to me. It just kind of got on my nerves. But Carly's like, why in the hell, Mimi? Like, why the hell did you bring her? Because she said she was coming to apologize. She didn't. Before that even happened, Carly had actually played the recording for everybody the night before at that little dinner where her husband confessed that he was lying. But we all know that the lie that he told them was a lie. So it's all going to come out later. But I hated this ending. I just felt like that little fight was so fake and phony and so put on. And Tokyo's the one that really blew it, you know, for everybody. That was a whole mess. It was a whole mess. But anyway, last thing that I'm going to talk about before I go, which was funny. But Shekinah and Tokyo were being bitchy to Carly. The fucking Shekinah. Shekinah gonna say, "Oh, girl, stop it with the bullshit. Talking about, your hometown or your homeland and all this. Bitch, you had to get a passport just like us, bitch. You ain't from here, whore. You from New York. You got some cousins that live here, bitch." I said, "Oh," she just spilled all the damn tea. I was like, I can't with these people. Oh, they are ridiculous. Just a mess. But I hated that little fake put on fight at the end. Anyway, I'm gone. It's going to get better next week. And I'll be back with y'all. I'll see y'all next week. Later.